This gravel trail in the wetlands behind Quincy Elementary was built by Ben Bramer's 5th grade class and adult volunteers. Now the students have returned with iPads to create videos promoting the sale of $2 wristbands. Students hope the wristband campaign will pay for an outdoor classroom on the site.
Just this idea that, whether they're using a technology skill, they're collaborating, they're writing, they're calculating math, whether it's it has to do with area and perimeter of our outdoor classroom or our trail, or it's economics. But there's a real audience there. There's a real product, and something that they're doing is authentic. It's not just contrived that will be created and then recycled.
And remember, authors, they're always trying to either inform, persuade, or entertain, right?
Charged by Mr. Bramer to get the job done on time, students use iPads to write, film, and edit 1-minute commercials to help raise money for the outdoor classroom. Students will then move on to their next assignment, writing text for helpful signs to be displayed at the wetlands.
I wanted the kids to feel like this was something that people were going to see, and that their writing was going to be viewed not just by one person for a district assessment, or by one person who's correcting their test at the MEP office. But this is going to be viewed and read by people throughout the years, and we're planning on putting these plaques out there to last a long time.
When these Creekside 8th graders leave school each day, they'll find a useful iBook lesson waiting for them at home on this shelf of their iPad. Teacher Tara Maynard prepares the 7-minute lessons, explaining fundamentals of geometry using diagrams, videos, and her voice.
These are the ways that we're going to be able to quickly write that and improve.
When students come to class the next morning, they must be prepared to discuss and work through the concepts they learned while using their iPads at home. This reversal of roles, students viewing the lecture at night, then working on the concepts with fellow students the next day, is called a flipped classroom. Tara is sold on the approach because of the change she's seen in her students.
The thing I like about it academically is they seem to be better learners. They're not just playing the game of school. They're not just coming, listening, writing down their notes, getting their grade, and walking out of here.
The teacher says the flipped classroom concept gives her more one-on-one time with students.
Every single day I get to go have conversations with kids that I've never been able to talk to them that long and get really at the math and the understanding of what they know and they don't know.
Because the iBook lessons are loaded on iPads, students do not need internet access to view them. In fact, the only complaint we heard from students about the flipped geometry class was the occasionally slow internet connection experience while working on projects at school. As for Tara, she likes seeing her students better engaged. She's created iBook lessons for all of her math classes.
My geometry class, all 3 of my Algebra 1 classes, and my 8th grade math class are all on iBooks with videos and in-class work, lots of discussion. It's a little crazy.
You show that in a proof, and yeah, that lovely favorite word of yours, proof, is coming back.
Hey, my name is Jennifer Sucombe. I teach at Salem West High School. I teach AP Environmental Science, Chemistry, and Wetlands. But I've been using items to deliver my course content in chemistry and in my AP Environmental Science. And then I've been using the Brain Genie in my chemistry courses for formative assessment pieces, really. And then I've been using Moodle in all of my classes for quick assessments for standard 6th grading. So students have learned about redox, and they're making a simple battery, so a wet cell. And we simplify the materials so they're not using big amounts. They have copper metal, zinc metal, and they're using solutions. The electrons are going to flow, and they're using a voltage meter to capture the voltage. Brain Genie gives each student 4 questions for each skill, and if they get them wrong, then they get to have to do more questions. But it won't let them turn green until they've mastered the skill. You see a yellow triangle, it means they had a little trouble. So if you look at this girl, she had to answer more questions in order to master that. The other thing I like about the Brain Genie too is for those kids like this one who's gotten the skills, she can keep working, as then I can go around and help the students who need the help. So it's kind of differentiated. She's not getting the different assignment, but she can work ahead.
All eyes are to the front, where students present multimedia shows. The assignment teaches them presentation and organizational skills, crucial for a successful future in business. The only iPad in operation for this project is held by a student who records the presentations. Teacher Lori Grams will meet individually with each student and critique their work with help from the recording. A visit to this business class reveals a blend of old and new. Microsoft PowerPoint software is used for the presentations, while the iPad records the event.
They could email to themselves an opening keynote, they could edit it, and they could email them back to themselves as a PowerPoint. So the students that might be able to slower as far as getting some stuff done, or maybe they're absent a day, it was beneficial because they could take it home and do it over the weekend.
This is incredible. We've learned that Grokkers are these hardworking 10th graders at Zeeland East. They used a new research engine called Instagrok on a writing project.
Because it challenges the kids to go beyond just doing quick searches, but actually engage in critical thinking about what they're discovering. And so it's been exciting to me to see kids who normally struggle with organization actually keeping it together all the way to the end of the project.
Mr. Jacob's students shared their thoughts about Instagrok.
So when I talked about tangents, when we do the original search, it shows all these other words connected to the search we did. So we can click on, say, disorder, and it'll bring up research along the things that relate to psychology, which is the search I did.
I'm Mike Fenlon. I teach physics at Zeeland East High School, and what we're working on today is a project-based unit on creating wind chimes. And as we create these wind chimes, it is for our sound unit. So in place of taking notes and doing everyday, whether it be conceptual development pages or homework, we're actually designing something that we can use and sell. And then we're going to take those proceeds and give them to a particular group or a foundation or charity or something like that. So what the kids are doing is they're taking a piece of pipe, and some kids even, kind of cool, they're getting a little bit crazy using bats and things like that, which is neat. But they're going to take this pipe and they're going to cut it to different lengths, and as they're cutting it to different lengths, there's a formula they use. They can prove mathematically what the frequencies are, what the sound's going to be, what the tune's going to be, what the note's going to be, what the octaves are going to be.
Okay, right now we've already cut our pipes to length, and right now I'm just using our 2/9 rule that we found where we are going to tie the string to it.
So instead of doing a bunch of book work, we're actually going to be developing something and making something like a wind chime to prove the physics and the math, a little bit of the history behind what wind chimes are and how they work.